key.
Let's focus on that, because without the anonymity, Bitcoins go away. Yeah?
I don't know that I agree with that, but I think that's, you asked in the very beginning,
A
the
healthy
fund
chunk of that business goes away.
may very well.
Well,
So as regulation, if that's true,
It's its own.
if that's true, then as regulations are applied, it could reduce the level of anonymity that is out there today, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And at that point, then you start to remove a lot of the
I want to
driving.
focus on anonymity, because that is the central theme for the reason of Bitcoin's existence. True or false?
I believe that that's a big part of it.
Not the only reason, but the central reason.
well, the other.
Without anonymity, Bitcoins go away, as we know them today.
No.
The other thing, though,
They have
Lee,
no
that
other
I've
reason to
heard
exist, Dawn.
is,
There's no other reason.
to go
for-
along with that is the ease of doing it. You don't carry any money with you. You can decide when you're in Spain that you want to buy that Tesla, that somebody has a limited Tesla in New York City. You're not going to be back in time to buy it,
To
but
Paul's
you could do
point,
it
you can
immediately.
do all of that with normal currency.
That's right.
To Paul's point, you can do all of that to normal currency. And here's where I'm going to sort of agree with you. I'm going to say that I believe that there is a place with digital currencies, but it's primarily the value of the underlying business, okay? So most of these currencies have no real business. They're all speculatively based.
What
And it-
currencies, what
and-
currencies such as?
The 1,500.
Bitcoin, there's no business there that makes
Right.
anything. There's nothing. And the same thing is true with most of them. There's no underlying business that makes anything. There's no hard assets. If that, so it's all about, you might say, the last fool theory. Like, who's the last person to buy it at the highest price? They're the biggest fool. There's that old theory of trading is like, you don't want to be the last person to buy it. And that goes with paintings by Picasso as well as Krugerrands and everything. I mean, these are Krugerrands. You can claim that there's a value, but the point.
You asked me to respond to your question.
Yeah.
And I'm doing that,
Okay.
okay? All I know is this: there is nothing that can't be done today with Bitcoins that can't be done with conventional systems in place. Units of measure, units of exchange.
They can be done. However, I'll argue that with international transfers, Bitcoin could lower the cost and speed up the transaction, which has a value because right now it's a very cumbersome thing.
Excuse me, it can be done.
I agree with you,
It
Paul.
can be done.
I agree with you. It can be
You asked me
done.
a question, Tom,
Lee.
and I'll give you an answer. No.
I'm okay.
Calm down.
The
I'm
point
okay.
is this, and
So it can be done. And so your premise.
He's just making a presentation.
Let me-
You don't have to
Can I-
do it.
can I say something?
You asked me the question, I was prepared to sit here
I'm gonna put it very
and keep my
simple.
big mouth shut.
Okay.
The point
Let me
being
just
is
keep
when
my
I
big
hear
mouth
I'm not
anonymity-
offended in the least if you think that this stuff goes away forever.
I'm not finished.
Okay,
When I
go
hear
ahead.
anonymity, the antenna goes up. Okay, if I'm going to do anything, the central reason being is because I can do it sub rosa, I don't want any part of it. I hope
Well,
that
and then,
answers
so
your
you know what, Paul, don't play, don't part.
I'm not-
So that's fine,
I'm
and
answering
we
your
understand where you're at.
question, Lee.
We understand where you're at, thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
somebody
Well,
else.
just in the United States, last year alone, there were $132 billion from international buyers buying into the United States. $132 billion, okay? Now, there are also people here buying in other countries. Let me just put it very, very simple. I purchased a property in Mexico last year. I did not want to use a bank because my cost just to send the money there and do the transfer was very, very high. I used a money exchange company that saved me $6,000. Okay, now I did not buy a huge property, it was just a little property. Now you think about investors that put $1 million, when they change bank to bank, we're talking about a lot of money. Now, just by using an exchange company versus a bank, it saved me $6,000. If I would have used that, I would say it's probably $4,000 more, who knows? But I can see this in international transactions, and that's what we do. So is it good for every business? No. Is it good for everybody? Probably
I
not.
grant you that, madam, but you as well as I know that there are folks out there who see the world a different way than I do.
Really, also use
And that,
cash.
That
the
is
wrong
what
way.
my-
And you know what, they have the cash system that they can use.
Right.
And
I'm just trying to respond to this. My point being is that until the central theme of anonymity is dealt with,
Paul,
In
it's
my
being
mind-
dealt with.
in my mind-
No,
in
Paul,
my mind-
No, let me finish. It's being dealt with by the federal government now. There are regulations that are being developed in the back rooms now that's gonna deal with it.
Let's see.
And when that happens, what's gonna happen in the market is there's gonna be a big falling out. I totally agree. A lot of these coins that have no real value are gonna go away. The poof, evaporate, which is the premise of the anonymity, will make them go away. But there is an underlying technology that has value and it's disruptive, just like Uber was disruptive to the cab companies and Airbnb, disruptive to the hotel industry. This is disruptive to the money industry. You're a person that has a lifetime of investment in the money industry and you understand it. Actually, you kind of love it. It's something that you spend a lot of time on. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but what I'm saying is this is a disruptive technology, and all the permutations of what's going to happen in the big picture haven't been figured out yet. The anonymity thing will cause a lot of these companies to evaporate and go away. So what you want to do is be very careful about what you invest in, and that's why I think regulation is going to be a good thing. I don't like the anonymity. I'm like you. I don't like the anonymity. I think it's a bad thing. But if the regulators are going to get rid of it, because the governments want to get a piece of this action. That's the regulators.
They always
Todd.
want a piece of the action.
Hitting on that, if I bought Bitcoin $20,000 worth, and it went up to $80,000 worth, and I went out and I bought a new car, would I have to pay taxes on my increase?
According to the IRS regulations, yes. The question is whether or not you would be found if you didn't.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that think the answer is no, I can get away with it.
Right.
And that's why the regulations have to change, because you cannot have a society where value can be exchanged and subvert the purpose of, or part of the function of government, which is to provide protection, and you can't tax things. We have to pay taxes. I mean, it's just, whether you like it or not, we do. There's a reason for it. So the anonymity thing, to Paul's issue, is an attempt to subvert all of that. And that's got to be regulated and it's got to go away before it can become mainstream and predictable. And as it does, it'll wash out a lot of these companies as well as improve the ones that are better. It'll standardize things like the exchange rates that are right now all over the place. They'll become more transparent, open, and regulation is going to cause some of this Wild West to go away. And that means some of the wild swings and the opportunities and the stories of kids that put $100 in and 4 years later they're millionaires, those things will go away as well. So all of this is going to get fleshed out, but the state of where we're at right now is I tried to present as clearly and unbiased as I can. And I think Paul's point is legitimate. The anonymity is a problem. It's a problem for regulators and it's a problem for a lot of people.
It's
But
the
it
same
is a
thing
big
buying-
driver.
When we used to buy things in the internet, we didn't pay taxes. Now they start making us pay taxes.
Yeah.
And there's still some companies that they don't know, they can't figure it out how to charge taxes.
Right.
You know, because they don't have a specific location.
Jan, but while you're leaving, let me ask you a quick question. That's okay. Jan, well, go ahead, let's scoot on by. Well, I would just want to ask everybody, did I answer questions for you that you were trying to get?
Yeah, I learned
Sure
a lot,
did.
thank you.
Okay. And how about everybody else? Good? Okay.
Oh, this is an excellent presentation, I think.
Thank you.